कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you very much for your kind association. Let us continue our study of Sri Bhagavad Gītā, chapter 8, entitled Attaining the Supreme, text number 9 onwards. But before that, let us chant our Mangalacharan prayers. Om Ajnanatimmirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swami iti namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Namo mahavadanyaya Krishna prema pradayate Krishnaya Krishna chaitanya namne gaura tvise namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dīnabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadādhara Śrīvāsādi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadādhara Śrīvāsādi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So, verse number 9 of chapter 8. Lord Krishna is instructing his dear friend Arjun how to attain the supreme destination. In the previous verses, Krishna has emphasized the importance of remembering him. Tasmad sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara. Krishna has emphasized the importance of remembering him. So Arjun's question was, my dear Krishna, how do we remember you? How should we remember you? So in this verse number 9, Krishna is going to answer that question of Arjun. Bhagavan Shri Krishna is saying, Kavim Puranam Anushasitaram Anor Aniyam Sam Anusmaredyaha Sarvasya Dhataramachintya Rupam Aditya Varanam Tamasa Parastat. Translation and purport by our beloved founder Acharya, Nitya Leela Pravishta, Om Vishnupad, Shri Śrīmad, Abhay Charanarvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada. Translation, Krishna is saying, one should meditate upon the Supreme Person as one who knows everything. Kavi. Kavi means one who is the most knowledgeable, most learned, one who knows everything. So Krishna is the original Kavi. In Śrīmad Bhagavatam, first verse, Janmadasya yatonvayaditarata chartesha vidnya swara tene brahmaridaya adi kavaye muyanti yatsuraya. Adi Kavaye. Here Lord Brahma is described as Adi Kavi, but Krishna is the Adi of Adi Kavi, because Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye. Brahma Jnana was given to Brahmaji, who is Adi Kavi, by Krishna. That is what this verse is. Krishna gave the knowledge to Brahmaji in his heart. So Krishna is Kavim. See the first word of this verse, Kavi. Krishna is Kavi. He knows everything. Kavim Puranam Anushasitaram. Second word is Puranam. This is how we are supposed to remember Krishna. Krishna knows everything. He's Kavi. He knows past, present, and future. He's Trikalagya. He knows past, present, and future. He is Puranam. He is the oldest Purush. Govindam Adi Purusham Tam Aham Bhajam. He's Adi Purush. He's Puranam, the oldest. Anushasitaram. He is the supreme controller. Anushasitaram means sab pe apna shasan banaya hai Bhagwan. He is the supreme controller. He is Param Ishwar, controller. Ano Aniyamsam. Krishna. Ano means atom. Aniyamsam means smaller than the atom. Krishna is smaller than the smallest. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada Ji Maharaj writes, this is the sthul sharir, this is the gross body, the physical body. The Dehi, one who is embodied in this material body, is present in the region of the heart. And Chaitanya Charitamrita
and Padma Puran describe the size of the Jivatma. We are a Jivatma. And our size is, if you take a hair, the tip of the hair, the hair tapers from the bulb of the hair to the tip of the hair, it tapers, becomes narrower and narrower and narrower. You take the tip of the hair, it is the narrowest part of the hair, very tiny tip. You divide it into 100 parts. Then you take one of those 100 parts and again divide that small little microscopic part into 100 parts. That small piece is the size, gives us some idea about the size of the jiva, the spiritual entity, jiva, living entity. Prabhupada ji writes in the purport that the super soul is present in the heart of that jivatma. Anor aniyam sam. Krishna is smaller than the smallest. Anusmareyaha. In this way, we have to remember Krishna. That Krishna is the omniscient Lord. He knows everything. He is the original person. Puranam. He is the original person. Anushasitaram. He is the controller of everyone. Anor aniyamsam. He is the smaller than the smallest. He is the subtlest. Smaller means subtle. Anusmareyaha. In this way, one must remember Krishna. Some more qualities of Krishna are described. How we should remember Krishna. Sarvasya dhataram. That Krishna is not just anushasitaram. He is not just the controller, but he is also the dhataram. He is also the maintainer. Krishna सिर्फ शासन नहीं करते, वो दुलार भी करते हैं, प्रेम भी करते हैं, मेंटेन करते हैं. सर्वस्य धातारम. पिता अहम अस्य जगता माता धाता पितामह. बहुत प्रेम करते हैं भगवान. सर्वस्य धातारम. He is the maintainer of just the devotees? No, everyone. Even the agnostics, even the atheists. Once one sadhu, he invited a person, another sadhu. This is grahastha sadhu, grahastha bhakta. He invited a sadhu for prasad at home, to give him Krishna prasad. That is the duty of a grahastha, to serve the renounced order of life, to serve those who are virakta santa. संतों की सेवा करना ये गृहस्थ धर्म है. Because grihastha ashram is the only ashram where money is earned and the other ashrams do not earn. So it is a duty of a grihastha to do santa seva, sadhu seva. So he invited he has found a sadhu on the road. He invited him, please today come. Aaj ghar pe prasad paiye. So the sadhu came. Now in Kali Yuga there are many people who are in the dress of sadhu, but not all of them are sadhus. Many of them are just in the dress of sadhu to get free meals. Srila Prabhupada remembers that his father would invite several sadhus every single day and serve them. And Prabhupada ji says that many times I saw they would come outside our house in regular clothes and then they would change into sadhu dress outside the house and then come inside to get a free meal from my father. Prabhupada said I had seen such bogus sadhus also. So anyway, this grahastha devotee, he was a very sincere devotee of Krishna and Radharani. He invited this sadhu home for prasad, respectfully invited him, gave him an asan to sit, gave him water for achaman, and then served him nice Krishna prasad and said, this is the uchishta, this is the adhar amrit, this is the nectar from the lips of my Radhesham. Please accept. That so-called sadhu laughed. He said, अरे वो अधर अमृत रहो कि कुछ भी रहो, ये तो प्रसाद है ना, गरम गरम प्रसाद है, क्या फर्क पड़ता है, वो प्रसाद है नहीं है, गरम गरम भोजन खिलाओ, हम खाएंगे. So Grahastha said, what do you mean? This is Krishna prasad. You should honor it respectfully. He said, I don't believe in all this prasad. I don't believe in God. Just khao और मस्ती में रहो. That is the motto of life. So you don't believe in God? I don't believe in God. Get up. Out of the house. Chalo. So the Grihastha told that so-called bogus sadhu to go. I don't want to associate with people like you. Asat Sangha Tyag Vaishnava Achar. Kicked him out. Then he had prasad, everything, gave his family members. That night when he was taking rest, Krishna appeared to him in the dream and said, what kind of bhakti you are? What kind of a devotee are you? Since time immemorial, I am feeding all the atheists. You couldn't feed one meal to one atheist. Kaise bhakt ho mere? So Krishna is Sarvasya Dhataram. He is the maintainer of everyone. Even the animals who have Sankuchit Chetana, who have very stunted consciousness, they cannot even think of Krishna. They cannot chant any prayers. They cannot do any Nam Bhajan. But still Krishna is maintaining them. All the animals, birds, insects, plants, they're all being maintained by Krishna, including human beings. And most of the human beings are not devotees, correct? Most of the human beings are not devotees. Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschidati siddha yasatamapi siddhanam kaschin mam vidi tatvata. A bhakta of Krishna is very, very rare. So, but Krishna is still maintaining everyone. Sarvasya dhataram. Then how do we remember Krishna? Is Krishna just a male and is Radharani just a female? Should we have that type of buddhi? Purush buddhi and Sri buddhi in Radhe Shyam? No. Krishna says, Achintya Rupam. They don't have a Parthiv Sharir. They don't have a Jad Sharir like us, made of the Pancha Mahabhut. No. Radharani and Krishna, they have Chinmay Sharir. They are Sat Chid Ananda Vigraha. So Krishna says, Achintya Rupam. Achintya Rupam. Inconceivable. We cannot even imagine what is Radharani and Krishna's beauty. The beauty of this material world has to be polished. अच्छे से स्नान करो, powder लगाओ, perfume लगाओ, तेल लगाओ, अच्छे कपड़े पहनो, makeup. Then for some time the body looks good. Then afterwards again it starts smelling. You have to take a bath. Again put foundation, makeup, lipstick, this, that. So the beauty of this mundane body made of Pancha Mahabhut, made of earth, water, fire, air, ether, is very transient. It is not sustained beauty. It is not permanent beauty. It is very transient. Some Bollywood star 20-30 वर्ष उनका beauty last होता है तो ऐसा अरे वाह evergreen. Devanand, evergreen. What evergreen? Where is Devanand? Where is Devanand? Evergreen hero. This hero is evergreen. That heroine is evergreen. What? It means nothing. Compared to other people, other mortals, these mortals are able to maintain their good appearance, attractive appearance for 10-15 years more. But this material body is Kshanabhangur. It is Nashivant. It is there, now, not there. Every maximum 110 years. That's it. But what is the value of such a long life if we have not understood Krishna? Our life is Shrama Eva Hi Kevalam. Notpaday Dedi Ratim, Shrama Eva Hi Kevalam. If we don't develop Rati for Krishna, then all our efforts are simply useless labor. So Krishna is Achintya Rupam. He doesn't have a body like ours. He has transcendental body, very beautiful body, that is not subject to the vikar, to the transformations, deterioration that a gross material body is subject to. And actually, we also have a form like Krishna's, because we are Krishna's Amsha. Mamay Amsha Jiva Loka Jiva Bhuta Sanatan. We are Krishna's children. So we also have a form like Krishna, but because we have a desire to enjoy in this material world, we have developed atmiyata. We have developed false identification with matter. And we consider this gross body to be the real self. There was a sadhu in Radhakund. It's a true story. When we went to Radhakund, we heard this. He used to sit and chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra practically 22 hours a day. Gaudiya Vaishnava. Practically 22 hours a day. Hardly he would take rest for 1 hour. Remaining 1 hour was he used to take bath in Radhakund, Shamkund 3 times a day, every day. Put Radhakund Tilak and he used to chant 3 lakh. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. In around 18 to 19 hours, he would finish 3 lakh. 64, 64, 64. Then he had spare time for 2 hours, 2-3 hours. What he would do? He would take a broom and people come to Radhakund, they offer lamps, and then those used up lamps are just lying. People offer flowers, garlands to Radhakund, and those flowers are scattered everywhere in Radhakund. So he would go, he would collect all those flowers, Nirmalya. He would clean the water of Radhakund. He would clean the ghat, the steps on Radhakund. He would sweep them. He would pick up all any kachara, people sometimes litter. He would do Radhakund seva. He would clean things for 2-3 hours every day. This was his dincharya. Now we have discussed there is prarabdha. But for a Siddha Purush like this, even prarabdha is scared. When Dhruv Maharaj was going back to Godhead, Kal told Dhruv Maharaj that there is a rule in this world. Nobody can escape this world without my touch. Kal has to touch, means death. Has to face death. You cannot go to Vaikuntha without dying. Sahasharir you cannot go. Even the most perfect devotee has to die. And then the gross body will remain here and the spiritual body will go to Vaikuntha. But Dhruv Maharaj was in a hurry to go to Vaikuntha. So he wanted to go Sadeha. Chalo. No time to die. But Kal stopped. He said, Prabhu, nobody can go. Nobody can leave this material world without my sparsh, without my touch. I have to touch. Kal has to touch means person has to die. Dhruv Maharaj said, all right, then touch me. Kal said, but you are such a pure devotee, I don't have the samarthya, I don't have the power to touch you. I bow down, you touch me. So he bowed down, Dhruv Maharaj placed his head on his lotus foot on the head of Kal and climbed Vaikuntha airplanes and went. So those who are pure devotees, those who are Bhagavad Prapt Mahapurush, even Kal, even Prarabdha does not have free access. They have to take permission. They have to take permission. Even Srila Prabhupada, he was not leaving his body until he wanted to. When devotees would cry, Prabhupada said, all right, I will stay. You read Leelamrita and see. And he would help to the recovery. But then Krishna would call him and he would say, no, let me go. Finally, Prabhupada said, now Krishna Balram are calling. I have to go. And he left. So this sadhu at Radhakund, one day he was doing Sohani Seva. He was sweeping the steps of Radhakund. And a dark complexion, tall, very ugly looking fellow came and stood in front of him with folded hands. So there was nobody there. This Baba was sweeping. He looked at him. He said, who are you? What do you want? The Baba said, I am your prarabdha. I am your prarabdha. According to your prarabdha, you are supposed to get leprosy. And you are supposed to suffer for 12 years. And then die. This is the time when you are supposed to get leprosy. I am your prarabdha. I have come to give you leprosy. He said, 12 years. He said, yes, 12 years. Your fingers will go, your nose will fall off, your earlobes will fall off, you will have ulcers everywhere. You will be just handicapped. This Baba said, no, I don't have time. 12 years. I have so much seva. I have so much Nam Bhajan to do. I have to clean, sweep, Radhakund. I don't have time. 12 years. Nahi. Reduce it. So he said 6 years. You suffer for 6 years. You will have double pain. In 6 years you suffer. He said, too much. I don't have time. Reduce it. He said 1 year. He said, no, time nahi. 1 year is too much. I cannot leave my bhajan. He said, all right, 1 week. He says, 1 week but time nahi. I don't have time. So Prarabdha folded hand. He said, 1 day. 1 day. Just 1 day you suffer, but you will not be allowed to take any medicines and nothing. No help from anybody, no seva from anybody. He said, "Theek hai, Manzoor." He went to his kutir, closed the door for 1 day, and his whole body from head to toe was covered with ulcers, severe pain. And he was just lying on the ground, Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam, Hare Krishna, like that. 24 hours passed and his body became golden, effulgent, completely restored, came out of his kutir, resumed his seva. So this is the glory of bhakti, pure devotee. It is achintya. So even a pure devotee has the same swarup as Krishna, and they have realized it. That is called self-realization, Atma Sakshatkar. We also have Nitya Siddha Krishna Prem Sadhaka Bhuma. Krishna Prem is there, our swarup is there, the swarup of every jiva is there, but we have lost access to it because we have developed attachment to this material world and we don't have attachment to Krishna. Aditya Varanam. So Achintya Rupam. Then Arjun says, how is the Roop? You are saying it is inconceivable form. How is it? Aditya Varanam. It is effulgent like the sun. Tamasa Parastat. And everything in this material world is Tamasa. It is dark. But my body is Uttama. Krishna is Uttama. It is transcendental to Tamasa Parastat. It is transcendental to this material world. So that is what Krishna is saying. This is how we should remember Krishna. We should remember Krishna as one who knows everything. Kavim. He is the oldest original person. Puranam. He is the controller of everyone. Anushashataram. Ano Aniyamsam. He is smaller than the smallest, subtler than the subtlest. Where nobody can reach, Krishna is there. Shama was in the ICU, bleeding internally, dying. Nobody was allowed to go near her. Her mother and sister were outside. But who was there with her? Krishna. He can go, no lockdown can stop Krishna. He's Anor Aniyamsa, smaller than the smallest, subtler than the subtlest. Sarvasya Dhataram. Krishna is maintainer of everyone. Krishna is Goptritya Varana. We should accept Krishna as one's maintainer. That is Sharanagati. Krishna is maintaining everyone. Achintya Rupam. He has a very beautiful form. We cannot even imagine how beautiful Krishna is. How beautiful Radharani is. Aditya Varnam. His very effulgent form. Not like our form where in the darkness we cannot see anything. We have to use a flashlight. Andhera hai. We have to light a lamp. No. Krishna is self-effulgent. Aditya Varnam. Tamasa Parastat. He is beyond all tamas, beyond all ignorance, beyond all avidya, beyond all darkness. Krishna Surya Sama Maya hai andhakar, jahan Krishna taha nahi Maya adhikar. Then verse number 10. Prayana kale manasa chalena bhaktya yukto yoga balena chaiva bhruvor madhye pranamaveshya samyak satam param purusham upayati divyam. One who at the time of death, prayana kale, the time of death, fixes his life air between the eyebrows. Between the eyebrows. Bhruvor madhye pranam. Fixes the life pranavayu here. And by the strength of yoga, yoga balena, with an undeviating mind, thinks of Krishna. Bhaktya yukto, yoga balena. Bhaktya yukto, with bhakti, with devotion, thinks of Krishna at a time of death, will certainly attain the Supreme Person. Satam param purusham upayati divyam. Will definitely attain the Supreme Personality of God. Purusham, param. Upayati, achieves. Divyam, the divya dham, the spiritual world. Will attain spiritual world. If one thinks of Krishna and bhakti at the time of death. Now this thing of bringing the life air pranavayu between the eyebrows here, it is called Shat Chakra Yoga. It's a yoga where there are different chakras of energy in the body and you have to control them. Srila Prabhupada clearly writes in the purport here that for those on the path of yoga, practice of yoga, it is recommended to raise the life force, pranavayu, between the eyebrows. to the Ajna Chakra. This is called Ajna Chakra. The practice of Shat Chakra Yoga involving meditation on the 6 chakras is suggested here. Now listen to what Srila Prabhupada is saying. A pure devotee does not practice this yoga. This is not for us. This type of Ashtanga yoga is not for us. A pure devotee does not practice such yoga, but because he's always engaged in Krishna consciousness, now listen carefully. Prabhupada is saying, but because a devotee is always engaged in Krishna consciousness, at death, he can remember the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna by Krishna's grace. Hare Krishna. Now see the very subtle point. Here it is said, Yoga Balena, correct? Yoga Balena. The yogi with his Yoga Bal, he is able to bring the Pranavayu between the eyebrows, Ajna Chakra, or Firo Pranavayu ko Ajna karke goes to whichever destination he wants. He can go to the moon planet, sun planet, anywhere. Brahmalok. Yoga Balena, on the strength of Yoga Bal. But what is the beauty of bhakti? It is not our bal. It is Krishna's bal. See, Prabhupada says, by Krishna's grace. We can remember Krishna by Krishna's grace, not by our power, not by our practice, not by our yoga bal. No. Krishna's bal. Srila Prabhupada explains this. Srimad Ramanujacharya actually quotes this, that there are 2 ways. One is to be like the child of a monkey, and second, to be like the child of a cat. A devotee is like a kitten. Devotee is like a kitten. And those who do it on yoga bal, tapa bal, dhyan bal, they are like the baby monkey. The baby monkey latches on to the mother monkey with its own strength. And the mother monkey is jumping. In Vrindavan, we have seen the mother monkey is jumping from branch to branch, tree to tree. And the baby monkey has to hold on to the mother to prevent itself from falling off. But the kitten is not like that. Kitten simply says, meow, Hare Krishna. And the mother kitten comes and with the skin of the neck, with its own powerful jaws, picks up the kitten. And the mother kitten takes responsibility. The mother cat takes responsibility for the kitten. So devotee is like that. Not on our strength, but on the strength of Radharani and Krishna. Kahu ke bal bhajan ko, kahu ke achar, vyas bharose kuwari ko sovat pao pasar. Some people, they have faith in their bhajan bal, tapasya, this, that, their acharan, following the regulative principles, vidhi nishedh shastra. But for a Sharanagat devotee, it is all avashya rakshive Krishna. Mari bo rakho bo, jo ichha to, like that. So that is, Prabhupada is saying that a pure devotee doesn't practice this yoga. Prabhupada also says in the last paragraph, one cannot suddenly remember Krishna at death. It is not possible. Anyone who says that, theek hai, abhi enjoy kar lo, end mein we will remember Krishna. One devotee was saying that my hero in Śrīmad Bhagavatam is Ajamil Mahashay. Because khub enjoy bhi kiya aur Vaikunt bhi chale gaye. So devotee was saying like that. He is the hero of Śrīmad Bhagavatam. Okay, Ajamal is hero, no doubt, but not because he engaged in sense gratification for 80 years of his life out of 88 years. No. If you see his childhood activities, they are described in Śrīmad Bhagavatam, 6th canto, 1st chapter. He was a very, very sincere sadhak, and he was actually a devotee, and he was a very obedient servant of his father. Somehow he was not completely pure, and because he did not control his senses, especially his eyes, he allowed his eyes to go here and there. In Gītā ji, Lord Krishna says that if the senses, roaming senses, focus on even one sense object, what happens? Like a boat swept away by the wind, the senses will sweep away the mind in the wrong direction, and then buddhi nasha pranashyati, then we fall down. So very important to be jitendriya, to control the senses. But how do we get the strength to control the senses? How do we get the strength to say no to temptations? Anybody knows? Want to raise your hand? How we get the Shakti to say no to temptations, to control the senses? How we become Jitendriya? Yes, Satyarupama Mataji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I think it is by our sadhana, when we make our sadhana strong, we can
Very
automatically.
nice. Very nice. Our bhajan, our sadhana. Sandeep Prabhu, you want to answer? Our bhajan gives us the strength to say no to temptations. You want to say something different, Sandeep Prabhu, or same answer?
Hare Krishna, no, same. Bhajanable say by chanting and by doing devotional services.
Yes. So, one answer is that Lord Balramji gives. Balramji gives the strength, spiritual strength. Balaram. So these are the two answers. One is bhajan, and second is the Guru Tattva gives empowerment. Krishna through the Guru Tattva gives empowerment. Now see, there are examples where even devotees who were doing bhajan, they fell down. है ना? Examples है ऐसे. Shaubari Muni was sitting in Jamuna. He was doing bhajan only, but he fell down. Ajamil also, it is described that when he saw the scene in the forest, the Vaishya with the Shudra man enjoying together, he tried to remember Vedic mantras. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Haraye Paramatmane Pranata Kleshanashaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. He tried to remember different mantras he had learned. He tried to remember the Updesh that he had read, the instructions of the Shastra. But when he saw that Kriya that was going on, all that remembrance of Shastra did not help, and he still fell down. Shaubari Muni also, when he saw the Maithun Kriya of the fish, he fell down. So simply bhajan bal is not enough. Because see, bhajan bal also, then what is the difference? Here it says yoga balena. So we are having faith in our strength only ultimately. But that doesn't work. Because our strength is one thing, but Krishna says, Daiviyesha gunamai mama maya duratyaya. Mama maya. It is Krishna's maya. So it is our strength versus Krishna's strength. No, we don't want to become our strength versus Krishna's strength. We want Krishna's strength to be our strength. So the second thing is what Mridula Mataji said, that it is Dauji, it is Balramji, it is the Guru Tattva. That is the strength. So we depend on the strength of Krishna. Krishna, I cannot do it. Like Draupadi, I cannot do it, Krishna. Now you protect, please, I am yours. You save me. Haridas Thakur. When Lakshahira, the beautiful prostitute, came, he was just taking shelter of Krishna. Krishna, you please save me. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. One day, Srila Prabhupada was taking darshan of, I think it was, I'm not able to remember the name of the temple, but one of the temples, Prabhupada was taking darshan of Radha Krishna, and Prabhupada had tears in his eyes. And for a long time, Prabhupada was just taking darshan and praying like this. So the personal servant of Srila Prabhupada asked Prabhupada later on, Prabhupada, what were you praying? If you don't mind, can you please share? To his utter surprise, Srila Prabhupada said, I was praying to Radha and Krishna to protect me from Maya. See, such a pure devotee, he's praying for such a basic thing. Not that, give me some more temples, some more followers, let us have more books, let us do this, let us do that, give me a longer life so I can translate the full Śrīmad. No, protect me from Maya. Because if I fall down, what will happen to the faith of so many disciples? Prabhupada is praying like this. Protect me from Maya. Protect me from lust, anger, greed. So this is the second thing, that we depend on Krishna's strength. Bilwa Mangal Thakur. Bilwa Mangal Thakur was doing so much bhajan. He was on his way to Vrindavan as a sannyasi. And he saw that Brahmani, got attracted, went to their house, wanted to enjoy her. So our bhajan is there. Bhajan we have to do. Without bhajan, we cannot get Krishna. But ultimately, it is not the strength of our bhajan that will protect us. It is Krishna's grace. It is Guru Kripa, Krishna Kripa that will protect us. Guru Kripa hi kevalam. Moksha Mulam, Guru Kripa. It is Guru Kripa that finally gives us the stamp of pass. Chalo, tum pass ho gaye, niklo. Aage. Bhajan means we write the paper. And Guru Kripa means, theek hai, chalo, grace marks. Pass, niklo. You don't have to fail. Because no matter how much bhajan we do, really, it is not going to be enough. Because Maya is really very strong. At any time we can get tempted. And we are doing bhajan, but we are also attracted to so many things in this material world. We say that Krishna, why you are not accepting me? Why I cannot see you? Why I don't know my Siddha Swarup? Why? Because we are right now attached to this Swarup, this false Swarup. So we don't know our Siddha Swarup. That's why we are not getting taste. One devotee was asking, why Krishna doesn't give taste? I am asking for taste and Krishna is not giving taste. Actually, we are not asking for taste because we still have attachment to the different tastes of this material world. But when all we want is taste in Nam, when all we want is Krishna, nothing else, then Krishna will appear to us. Our problem is we say with our mouth, I want Krishna, I want Namaruchi, I want Krishna, I want Krishna, but that is just external, superficial. Our behavior should be such that I only want Krishna. I only want Namruchi. Then we will get it. So here Krishna is saying that we have to remember him bhaktya yukto. We have to remember him with devotion. And a pure devotee depends on Krishna's help at the time of death. And this will be actually clarified in verse number 14. So we have 10 more minutes, so I'm going to go a little fast. Prabhupada says one cannot suddenly remember Krishna at time of death. One must practice. Since one's mind at death is very disturbed, one should practice transcendence through yoga during one's life. Yes. Therefore, every morning when we chant, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. We have to practice remembering Krishna, not just chanting. We have to remember Krishna, the qualities of Krishna, the pastimes of Krishna, the form of Krishna, and hear the name attentively. We should remember Krishna. Practice remembrance. That is called Chintan. We have to do Chintan. We can do Mantrartha Chintan. We can do Chintan on the meaning of the mantra that we are chanting. What is the meaning of the mantra? Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Who can tell? Raise your hand. What is the meaning? Srila Prabhupada has given. One line you tell nicely, smoothly. Okay? Let's ask Rishi Prabhu. Rishi Prabhu, tell us what is the meaning of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra? What is the mantra or the Chintanam that we will do?
Oh my Lord, please engage me in your service.
थोड़ा उसको expand करो प्रेम से.
Hare Krishna, yes. Oh my Lord, Srimati Radharani, please engage me in your service.
Yes. My dear Radharani, my dear Krishna, please engage me in your eternal, loving, devotional service. These are Prabhupada's words. So yes, we have to remember Krishna. Then in 11th verse, Krishna says, persons who are learned in the Vedas, who utter Omkar, and who are great sages in the renounced order enter into Brahman. Desiring such perfection, one practices celibacy. Yadi chanto brahmacharyam charanti. Brahmacharyam means celibacy. I shall now briefly explain to you this process by which one may attain salvation. Prabhupada says in the purport, look at the second paragraph, the social construction of the world has changed so much that there is no possibility of one's practicing celibacy from the beginning of student life. So this is a major problem. There is nobody's teaching about celibacy. When I was in medical school, we were taught, anyway, maybe this is not the right forum to discuss, but celibacy is not given any importance. In fact, breaking celibacy is said to be normal. Even the doctors, the medical experts are saying, unfortunately, that it is normal to indulge. It is just physiological. It may be physiological based on your science, your modern science, but based on spiritual science, it's a very great loss. Very great loss. One cannot remember Krishna properly, and one cannot do bhajan properly if one is not celibate. It is not possible. Prabhupada says, look at this. Unless, I'm reading Srila Prabhupada's words, unless one practices celibacy, advancement in spiritual life is very difficult. You can see. It is the second last sentence of the purport, to verse number 11. Unless one practices celibacy, advancement in spiritual life is very difficult. So therefore, whether one is a brahmachari or whether one is a grihastha, one must take the vow of celibacy. Verse 12, the yogic situation is that of detachment from all sensual engagements, closing all the doors of the senses and fixing the mind on the heart and the life air at the top of the head, one establishes himself in yoga. Prabhupada says in the purport, to practice yoga as suggested here, one first has to close the doors of all sense enjoyment. This practice is called pratyahar. Pratyahar. You control the indriya. Otherwise, if you keep taking inputs from the different senses, the jnanendriyas, eyes, ears, nose, taste, skin, then we will simply be distracted. Verse number 13. After being situated in this yoga practice and vibrating the sacred syllable Om, which is a supreme combination of letters. If one thinks of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna and quits his body, he will certainly reach the spiritual planets. So if you think of Krishna, and whether you chant Krishna, Hare Krishna, Radha Krishna, or Om, Vasudev, Govinda, there are so many names. We will attain the spiritual world if we remember Krishna. Clearly said. Mam Anusmaram. Look at the verse. Omit Ekaksharam Brahma Vyaharan Mam Anusmaran Yah Prayati Tyajan Deham Sayati Paramam Gatim. Sayati Paramam Gatim. He achieved the supreme destination, no doubt about it. Tyajan Deham, when he leaves his body. But Mam Anusmaran, we have to remember Krishna. Mam Anusmaran, we have to remember Krishna. Prabhupada says the best way of remembering Krishna is chanting Hare Krishna. Om is included in Hare Krishna. Om is the impersonal feature of Krishna. The Brahman, Param Brahman, is represented by Om. Brahmeti Paramatmeti Bhagavan iti Shabdate. From Bhagwan, the Purusha expansion, Purusha Swamsha is Paramatma, Shirodaksha Vishnu. And from Bhagwan, the bodily effulgence is Brahmajyoti. So Brahmajyoti and Paramatma are coming from Krishna. Therefore in Bhagavad Gītā, Krishna says, Brahmano hi pratishtha aham. So if we chant Om, we are addressing the impersonal form of Krishna. If we say Paramatma, Hey Paramatma, we are accessing the Purusha avatar form of Krishna. But when we say Hare Krishna, we are directly calling out to Radha and Krishna. Radha Purna Shakti, Krishna Purna Shakti Man, Dui Vastu Bhedanahi Shastreda Praman. We are actually addressing Radha and Krishna directly, who are the source of Paramatma and source of Brahmajyoti. Therefore, Hare Krishna includes Om. Prabhupada writes in the purport. The impersonal sound of Krishna is Om, but the sound Hare Krishna contains Om. So there is no need to chant Om. Just chant Hare Krishna. It has got more rasa because it gives the full realization of Krishna, Bhagwan realization. Prabhupada Ji Maharaj writes in the purport further, the devotees of Krishna enter the Krishna planet Golok Vrindavan. For the personalist, there are also innumerable other planets known as Vaikuntha planets in the spiritual sky. Whereas the impersonalists who say that God is not a person, God is a Shakti, they remain in the Brahmajyoti. They remain in the Brahmajyoti. Now, verse number 14, this is one of my favorite verses of Bhagavad Gita. Very beautiful verse. Ananya cheta satatam yomam smarati nityashah tasyaham sulabha partha nityayuktasya yoginah. Tasyaham sulabha partha. Can it get more beautiful than this? Krishna is saying, for one who always remembers me, Ananya cheta satatam, always. One who always remembers me, yo mam smarati nityasha. So two words are used, satatam and nityasha, for emphasis, and always, at all times, every day, every moment. For one who always remembers me without deviation, tasya aham sulabha partha. O Partha, O Arjun, to such a person, I am easily obtainable. Krishna is sulabh, he's saying, very easily obtained. Nitya yuktasya yogina. Why? Because he is regularly engaged, constant engagement in devotional service. Such a beautiful verse. Ananya cheta satatam yomam smarati nityashah tasyaham sulabha partha nitya yuktasya yoginah. Let's see what Srila Prabhupada is saying. This verse specifically describes the final destination attained by the unalloyed devotees, the pure devotees, who serve Krishna in Bhakti Yoga. Prabhupada says, previously Krishna described 4 kinds of devotees. Arti, Artharthi, Jnani, and Jidnyasu. There are the distressed, Arti, inquisitive, Jidnyasu, those who seek material gain, Artharthi, and the speculative philosophers, Jnani. 4 types of devotees are described. And there are different processes of attaining liberation are also described. Prabhupada says, Karma Yoga, you can get liberation through Karma Yoga. Jnana Yoga, you can get Mukti. Hatha Yoga also you can get Mukti. The principles of these yoga systems have some bhakti added in it. Karma means yat karo tat kurusha madarapanam. Do it for me. Jnana Yoga, that you cultivate knowledge. Bahunam janmanamante jnanavan mam prapadyate. And then Hatha Yoga, where you do dhyan. Yoginam api sarvesham mad gate antaratmana. So like that. So all of them ultimately have to come to the point of bhakti. And they have value because there is some bhakti in it. But this verse, Ananya cheta satatam yomam smarati nityasha tasyaham sulabha partha nityuktasya yogina. This verse, specifically Prabhupada says, mentions pure bhakti without any mixture of jnana, karma or hatha. Anya abhilashita shunyam jnana karma adi anavritam. That is uttama bhakti, pure bhakti. That is described in this verse. As indicated by the word Ananya Cheta, in pure bhakti, the devotee desires nothing but Krishna. Like Arjun, I just want you, Krishna. I don't want your Sena. I don't want anything else. I just want you. That is pure bhakti. Nishkam bhakti. Pure devotee is called Nishkam because he has no material desire or self-interest. Krishna bhakta Nishkam ataiva shanta. Bhukti mukti siddhi kami sakalai ashanta. Mahaprabhu says in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Whereas a jnani, karma yogi and hatha yogi has his own selfish interest. What is the selfish interest? What is the selfish interest of jnana yogi? Wants liberation. Mukti from janma mrityu jara vyadhi. What does a karma yogi want? A karma yogi wants sense enjoyment, facilities. And hatha yogi also wants good health and ultimately liberation from this material world. They have their own interests, but a perfect devotee has no such desire. No desire other than to please the Supreme Person. Samsiddhir hari toshanam. No dhanam, no janam, no sundari. No other desire is there. Bhakti yoga is very simple and pure, Prabhupada says. Next paragraph. Bhakti yoga is very simple and pure and easy to perform. One can begin simply by chanting Hare Krishna. Anybody can start. Aisa nahi ki you have to enroll somewhere and join some yoga club and buy a yoga mat. Nahi. Zarurat nahi hai. Just chant Hare Krishna. Anybody can do it. Krishna helps such devotees in various ways. Dadami buddhi yogantam yena mamupayate. 10th chapter. We'll come to that. A special qualification of the pure devotee is that he is always thinking of Krishna without deviation and without considering the time or place. This is a pure devotee. Wherever they are always remembering Krishna. Sthavar jangam dekhe na dekhe taramurti sarvatra hai nija ishta deva spurti. Prabhupada says, special quality pure devotees always thinking of Krishna without deviation, without considering the time and place. Haite, shuite, yatha naam le, desh kal niyam nahi sarva siddhi hai. Without considering time or place. There should be no impediments. What is that definition of pure bhakti? Where it is said there should be no impediment, no break, no interruption. What is that verse? Yes. Rishi Prabhu, go for it.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. It is
Hare Krishna.
in Bhagavad Gītā 14.26. Mamcha yo avyabhicharina bhakti yogina sevate saguna samati chaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate.
Yeah. Avyabhicharana bhakti means undeviated bhakti and pure bhakti, yes. The verse I was thinking of is from Śrīmad Bhagavatam. Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhaktir adhokshaje ahaytuki apratihata. Apratihata is what Prabhupada says. No impediments, no break. Further, in the last paragraph, Prabhupada says, as indicated by the word satatam and nityasha, which means always, regularly, every day, a pure devotee constantly remembers Krishna, meditates on him. Aisa nahi ki only Sunday feast we remember Krishna. No, every day, every moment. Therefore, my dear friends, it is very, very important that we understand Srila Prabhupada's mood. Dekho what Prabhupada is saying. A pure devotee constantly remembers Krishna and meditates upon him. Prabhupada has not started a society where we just chant 16 rounds and then we have a license to enjoy the rest of the day. No, Prabhupada is teaching pure bhakti. And pure bhakti means always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. So that is what we should try for. Repeatedly Prabhupada is saying. And Krishna also said. We can begin by simply chanting Hare Krishna. But then slowly, we have to become more and more serious. The special qualification is always thinking of Krishna without deviation. That is a pure devotee. A pure devotee cannot forget Krishna for a moment. Similarly, Krishna, Supreme Lord, cannot forget his pure devotee for a moment. Sadhavo hridayam mayam. Sadhunam hridayam. Like that. Prabhupada says, this is the great blessing of the Krishna consciousness process of chanting the Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Whoever we are, we should just chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and try to remember Krishna. Be in the association of devotees. Hear satsang. That will lead to all perfection. Kalir dosha nidhe rajan, astiyo eka mahan guna, kirtana deva krishnasya, mukta sangha param vrajayet. So I will stop here. If there are any questions, we can take. Shri Bhagavad Gītā ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Yes, Satyarupa Mataji, please go ahead. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for your wonderful class. Prabhuji, you just mentioned that there is not necessary that someone enrolls for a yoga class and buys a yoga mat. I have actually done it from last 1 week, Prabhuji. I just joined a yoga class and I'm going there from 1 week just to maintain my health. Is it wrong then? We cannot do that?
No, even Prabhupada used to go for morning walks. Even Prabhupada used to take the massage. So for health, we can do, no problem. I also go to the gym. So we can go. But when I go to the gym, I have my AirPods on and I'm listening to Harikatha, listening to Acharya Vani. So we go to yoga, somehow you remember Krishna. There you can hear some lecture, kirtan. So for the body, Satyarupa Mataji, we have to do these practical things, na? Because yantra rudhani maya, correct? Yantra rudhani is a yantra. This material body is a yantra. It is not Sachidananda. The soul is Sachidananda. The body is not Sachidananda. Body is not Chinmaya. Our body is yantra. It's a machine. So just like a machine, you have to maintain. You have to oil the machine. You have to put fuel in the machine. You have to do how the car, we have to take it for servicing. Hai na? Change the oil, put petrol, fill air in the tires. We have to wash it, clean it. So like that, we have to check the fuel levels, everything you have to do. Maintenance. So because it's a yantra, so we have to maintain it. So for that, we have to exercise. Yes, because the modern lifestyle is very unhealthy. So we don't get enough exercise. We are in the house all day, don't get sunlight. So yeah, we should go, we should exercise. We should eat a healthy diet, take some multivitamins if required. And yeah, exercise. And when we exercise, we do yoga, we should hear Hari Katha. So Hari Kirtan. That way our mind is absorbed. So we have to take care. We have to not eat too much, not eat too less. Yukta ahar viharasya, yukta cheshtasa karmasu, yukta swapna avbodhasya yoga bhavati dukkha, Krishna says. Because this is a yantra. If it was Sachidananda, then no need to do all this. Krishna doesn't have to take care of all these things like exercising and yoga. No. His body is spiritual. His associates are spiritual. But our body is a yantra. It's a machine. Yantra udhani maya, made of material energy. So you have to maintain it, take care of it. Why take care of it? Why do yoga? Why go to gym? Why eat healthy food? Why? Because we need this body to do bhajan. So we have to take care of it. It's a very nice vehicle, very nice machine. If used properly, maintained properly, it will last long and it will allow us to do a lot of bhajan. And we will have Bhagavad Prapti. We'll attain Krishna in this very lifetime. So take care of the body, no problem. Take care of it in a Krishna conscious way. We should not eat too much, not eat too less. That is also very important. If we are gaining weight, we should eat less. If we eat very less, then also we cannot remember Krishna. We will become weak, we will become lethargic, fatigued, and we will be thinking of food or thinking of sleeping all the time. If we eat too less. If we eat too much, again, it creates pramad. It makes us sleepy, brings about lusty thoughts, breaks our celibacy, gives acid reflux, so many problems, obesity. And then we cannot sit, we get back pain, we get diabetes, so many things happen by overeating. So overeating भी नहीं करना है, undereating भी नहीं करना है. बस इतना खाना है कि after we eat that much, we should have enough space to eat little bit more. That's where we have to stop. Not eat till we are completely full. I cannot eat anymore. उतना अगर खाया तो फिर I have experienced it causes disturbance in the bhajan. So we should eat where the body is nourished, but we still have appetite to eat little more. If someone gives one extra chapati, we should be able to eat. That much we should stop. That's where we should stop. Not take that extra chapati, but stop there. Where we still have the capacity to eat little more. थोड़ा भूख होना चाहिए पेट में. After we are done like that. Prabhupada said this. So 50% you should fill your stomach with food, 25% with water, and 25% should be empty. Prabhupada said air. Like that. So all these practical things we should do, Mataji. Good you joined yoga. You should do some cardiovascular exercise also, like going for a walk or using the elliptical or treadmill or something like that. Take care of your health. It's a yantra. Yantra Rudhani Maya. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji, then this yoga class is not conducted by any devotees. So it is, so do we have any idea to dovetail it to Krishna conscious, or when they ask us to say the Omkar or something, should we say Hare Krishna from inside, or should we go according to them and while practicing home, can we do it like this? I am really confused, Prabhuji, how to take it.
So when you go for the class, constantly they are giving instructions?
Yes, constantly, yes, continuous.
Okay. See, you can maybe learn in few days and then do it yourself. You don't have to go for the classes. And yes, rasna kato jo anrato. Let that tongue get cut off if it doesn't chant the name of the Ishtha. Our Ishtha is not Om. All glories to Om. It is Krishna's impersonal aspect. Prabhupada says impersonal form of Krishna is Om. Yes, Jai Ho. Is not different from Krishna. But we are upasaks of Yugal Kishore. Radha Krishna Pranamor, Yugal Kishore. So we chant Hare Krishna. It is the Yugal mantra, Radha and Krishna's names. So yes, better to chant Radha and Krishna, Hare Krishna. But just learn those exercises in a few days and then you can do it by yourself. That's what I feel. And also you should go for something like walk, cardiovascular exercise, aerobic exercise is also essential. So, because previously people would walk so much, Shachi Mata, Vishnu Priya Devi, they would walk 3 times to Ganga from their house. They would go to neighbors' homes. They would go to the marketplace. The gopis also, they would go far away walking almost to Mathura to the marketplaces, right? We would walk so much, but we don't walk nowadays. Mahaprabhu also used to do Nagar Sankirtan on the streets all day walking in Jagannath Puri, in Navadvip, but we don't walk. So some cardiovascular exercise also is required. Okay, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. So it is a 15 days course, Prabhuji. So better take all the instructions and start.
Yeah, just learn it in 15 days and then you do it on your own.
Okay.
Then you can
Okay.
put nice Hari Katha and you can
Yes.
do it. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank
And
you
see,
so
even
much.
if they are talking, instructing, and everything, internally you keep chanting Hare Krishna,
Yes.
Hare Krishna, like that. Krishna, Krishna, Radha, Radha, like that. Keep chanting Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, it's very late, dear devotees. 9:40. Actually, I still have some hospital work to do, so I will not take the questions today, but next time. Okay. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi. Hari Hari Bol. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.